At the end of the day, I'm Trump because my eyes open. I can see that he was doing a lot better than what we going through right now. You can't even go to the grocery stores right now without making a life decision on what you want to get. You know, you gotta compromise. We don't have to go through that 4 years ago.
Voters in a Detroit barbershop are hesitant to support Kamala Harris. I'm not surprised. Take a look at this.
Kamala Harris visiting Detroit this week and rolling out a new agenda focused on garnering support from black men.
But the polls show Democratic support among black voters since 2020 is actually, as you can see right there, slipping.
So we decided to go to Detroit for our exclusive Barbershop Talk series to see what real Americans have to say. Let's take a look. As I always say, the barbershop is the center of everything in the community in Black America. So we start in Detroit, Michigan to figure out what the people are saying on the ground. Let's go. If the election were held today, who would win the election?
Kamala Harris. I think it's a coin flip at this time. I really do.
I think the country is so divided, you wouldn't have numbers like you have if the country weren't divided between the two candidates. It's pretty much 50-50.
I'm still in between myself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of decisions have to be made. Me being an entrepreneur and a father and a grandfather, I'm looking at what state my children will be in 10 years from now.
At the end of the day, I'm Trump because my eyes open. I can see that he was doing a lot better than what we going through right now. You can't even go to the grocery stores right now without making a life decision on what you want to get. You know, you gotta compromise. We don't have to go through that 4 years ago.
You know, just being able to just live on a day-to-day basis, it has become a little harder at this point in time.
It's really hard to put our economic condition now on any particular administration.
In regards to the economy,
No.
I do think that Trump have some benefits as far as keeping our jobs right here. Right here in this country, not sending another job overseas. We're already going through enough crisis right here in our country, and I think the working class, we need more job security right here in this country.
Who thinks immigration-wise, Kamala Harris is better?
I don't have enough information about that question.
That's fair. Who thinks Donald Trump would be better for the border?
Let's face it, individuals are coming into our country, not just illegal, but they're criminals.
Right.
The third issue is crime. Who do y'all feel like is the best candidate to handle crime in America?
Kamala Harris absolutely would be the best.
We have forgotten. Memory is so short right now. Was it not Vice President Harris who supported what? Defund the police?
Right.
More black men voted for Donald Trump than any other Republican ever. So why is that? What is leading toward more support for him versus any other Republican?
My brother is a firm Donald Trump supporter.
There you go.
And some things that he always says to me is that some of his principles, as far as abortion, as far as same-sex marriage, as far as those things, those are a lot of the sticking points that draw a lot of our black men.
Sometimes us as brothers, black brothers, we feel like the other is better than we are. We would, to me, that's that slavery mentality, that master is better, and that we want to.
Well, hold on, Bishop.
What is he talking about?
The brothers that
I come from a different generation.
I understand that. Are you saying that the brothers that subscribe to Donald Trump, that feel like he would be better, have a slave mentality?
Many of us do still have a slavery mentality. I'm voting for master.
The problem is black people, we vote with emotion. That's not smart. We need to vote. We need to educate ourselves first.
We got to stop this emotional, because that's what's wrong with the black race. We too emotional. I can't have a opinion without you being mad at me or something, or you upset when I said. We got to come together.
The presidency is not a person. It's an institution to be protected. Okay, and I think we need to get back to that, understanding the position, understanding what the intended job is, okay? It's not Kamala Harris, it's not Joe Biden, it's not Donald Trump, right? It's the United States of America.
That was great. I want to
great.
go to that barbershop.
It was so much fun. As you can see, the tension got up at points of it, but it's an authentic conversation. And I left with 50% of them are going to vote for Donald Trump and 50% of them are going to be for Kamala Harris.
Right.
Still some undecided people in there as well, but the one consensus that you continue to hear is about the Trump economy, the Trump economy, the Trump economy.
Sure.
The other thing you hear, at least for some of the people that are going to vote for Kamala Harris, is that they want to be a part of the history of the first black woman being president. So there's a balance of economics versus history making going on.
Yeah, I think what mattered the most to them, it sounds like keeping jobs in America and paying for groceries at the grocery store for prices to go down so they would have more money to feed their families. And then the one guy said about Kamala Harris, I don't have enough information on her stance on immigration. Like, how much time do you have? Because we could inform you.
One of the brothers that was in the barbershop is a construction worker. Okay. And he goes, look, I don't want to give Donald Trump credit on this, but he goes, when I was in the construction industry, because of what was happening in the border, when he was cracking down on it, he goes, our wages went up because they weren't allowed to hire. They didn't have the illegals to hire. So he goes, I have to give him some credit on that because it did directly impact my job. And I think that's what it's going to come down to as the race settles down. We're like almost like getting close to 2 weeks out. Then people are going to make decisions based on how it will impact their day-to-day lives.
Well, and the barbershop itself, I bet business is off from the heyday just because people don't have enough money to go and get a haircut, a shave, and they do a shoe shine there too, right?
That's 100% right. It's a traditional barbershop. Very respectful, though. Even though the conversation got heated sometimes, it was civil, and the people left hugging, dapping each other up, and went right back to work.
Okay. So you did this first time in Chicago.
Detroit. Then we're going to air Atlanta, and then we're going to have a big one in the Bronx here in New York as well.
Our brothers are waking up. They are starting to see that the Democrat Party has been deleterious towards the black community. And you know, sadly, black men only make up 5% of the overall population in the U.S. And black women make up 8% of the overall population in the U.S. So the black community is a matriarchal community. And sadly, within that, it's hard to compete when you are a matriarchal community with other communities who are patriarchal and other communities who value marriage. And they put a strong emphasis upon the two-parent family. Now, the Democrat Party incentivized the single-parent family, destroying the marriage rate in the black community through Lyndon B. Johnson. That was an intentional plan. They eviscerated and gutted the black community by doing so, forcing single women to have to choose between marriage or support from the government. Now, these black men who are catching this reawakening, they can turn the tide in our community. But you heard some of the, I'll say, less than satisfactory responses from some of the gentlemen there. One in particular was the guy, the bishop, who was talking about if you're on the other side, they have this mentality that they are master, you know? I mean, what is he talking about? Are you trying to tell me that Joe Biden didn't have a master complex? And why do we have to be labeled as master because we support the Republican Party? Are you saying that black people who are supporting President Trump or the Republican Party, or those who supported Bush or even Reagan, that we were part of being the house Negro or the field Negro simply because of that? I mean, is that the basis of that argument? But what you're seeing through that statement is what is called racialized social constraint. And that's where it's expected for black people to support one political party, and that's the Democrat Party. And I will have you to know the Democrat Party is the party of Jim Crow. They drafted the Jim Crow laws. They're the ones who did not want to support the 1964 Civil Rights Act. They're the ones who held on to slavery. They are the party of the KKK. What do you have to say about that, Bishop? That you are supporting the party of the KKK and the party that, treats Margaret Sanger, a woman who wanted to exterminate the Negro population, they treat her as if she's a goddess. They celebrate her. That's master. See, low information voters are oftentimes low information thinkers. And it's sad when a person has all that gray in their beard. Some of the older ones in there, they've been around too long to be so mentally impotent. Can you not see the handwriting on the wall? Do you not understand that the Democrat Party has sought to eviscerate and destroy Black America, and it has worked by and large because of the Black church and their indifference and silence on these issues? See, it's easy to talk about race and to race bait and to race hustle, but it takes a lot for a person to talk about personal accountability. We would much rather put the onus on the white man and expect little of the black man. There's an awakening taking place. It's true. More black people will vote for Donald Trump this year than black people have voted for any Republican president in the history of the U.S. And guess what? I'll be joining them. God bless you.